Hey, I'm going to switch topics a
Sure.
little bit. As was also mentioned in the introduction, you've become one of the world-leading philanthropists, and of course, incredibly generous gift. Very grateful to it, to Cornell, to also the African American Museum and in other places. But it's also brought you out of the shadows in some sense. Like you've become quite visible. Say a little bit about kind of what drives you as far as that's concerned, kind of where you see it going.
Sure. So there's a whole bunch of factors that you have to think about. One of them is what I call really at its highest macroeconomic level, look, half the world's population is going to be on the other side of the planet by 2025. So that's kind of point number one, right? Point number two, if we don't take advantage of all of our citizenry here in America, I tell people we're going to be downloading software, not uploading it, okay? So we have to enable every citizen to have an opportunity to participate in what is this fourth industrial revolution. So the way I think about it is we have to create all of these on-ramps. And the good news is technology enables these on-ramps to happen much more quickly. There are software platforms out there, cloud-based computing, and the capabilities of enabling more people to participate, in this economic shift that's occurring. I think we had Jet.com executive speaking earlier. Every single industry on the planet is digitizing. And the massive disruptive effects of it, we only feel some of it here in America. We kind of say, oh, Amazon, and okay, and there's 2 or 3 or 5, and Uber and all of that. Let me tell you, in other parts of the planet, it is completely disruptive. There's a company in Indonesia, that I was visiting with a couple weeks ago, that started off as a transaction processing business, labeled as a bank. They democratized what I'll call software programming. So they didn't go hire a bunch of new software programmers and engineers. They actually trained their people, and didn't hire one additional person, as people required, This company in the last 8 years went from a $400 million market cap to a $35 billion market cap. That's the same size as Credit Suisse and a little bigger than Deutsche Bank in Indonesia. 90% of their transactions are done online or mobile. And they've only got 15% penetration in their home market. Now, if they ever start to export those platforms, that platform can be 2 and 3 times the size of some of the banks you all are using today. So technology and technology development is absolutely changing everything. So to a great extent, the way I think about it is we have to enable our citizenry to participate in this transformation. Because if we don't, I will guarantee you, because the massive population that's on the other side of the planet and the fact that they are becoming more technical enabled, not burdened with what are some of the legacy systems that we have had in some respects, their innovative cycles are going to be faster, and their capabilities to capture markets is going to be accelerated. It's basic economics, and it's basic as we think about it. So I want to ensure that our citizenry have that opportunity. So that's what one of the areas that I focus on.
So how do we do that? So your comment about wanting to activate the entire citizenry. So what do we? What are your thoughts about that?
It's different levels. I mean, so at the one level, I focus and we've on a thing called Empower. Empower basically takes high school graduates, returning veterans, and teaches them to become IT services reps. Right? In 9 months, you can start off and go from making $8 and $9 to $10 an hour to making $35,000, $40,000 a year as an IT services rep. So that's not everyone's going to be AI ML programmer, but not everyone has to sweep the streets for a living. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is creating those on-ramps, and we put these in what I called embargoed communities. The first one that we opened as part of the program was in Baltimore, a block away from where Freddie Gray was killed. The second one we put in St. Louis, within a mile of where Michael Brown was killed, All those, because that citizenry is actually feeling disenfranchised. So where do I go? How do I lift? We've now had over, I think, 120 graduates out of just those 2 programs in the last year and a half. And now our programs are going from 30 to 60 to 90 people and graduating everyone in classes. That is one level. Then the next level, of course, is the things we're doing, at Cornell and what we're doing with the UNCF. And how do we drive these STEM-based programs into communities that haven't had access? Because if we don't take advantage of the brain power that we have in this country, it's going to be a tough slog for our kids and our kids' kids.
And I have always found that, as you call it, brain power is just distributed to all people. So if we
Right.
exclude any particular
Lance,
group,
great point. So remember this aptitude test I was telling you?
Yeah.
We get the same distribution in every community that we test.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah.
8.8% of the population in that community gets an A, 14% get a B. Period. I don't care where on the planet you are, that's what you get. Okay, so we hire from that 25+% plus or minus. That's what we're going after. Now, if you just take that basic math and you look at the population, okay, on the other side of the planet, they have more people who get A's than we have people. Okay? It's actually not that complicated. It's basic math, right?
Yeah.
Even art students can do that, right? I'm teasing. I love art students. We're just doing an engineering thing up here. I should have said even electrical engineers can do it. That's what I should have said. That would have been better. I'll work on that one. But I think that, again, that's an important dynamic that you just have to understand. And look, at a point in time when there was scarcity in computing power, then you didn't have to worry about it because people don't have that. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I was with an executive in India, and he is building out and putting $30 billion and is building out, 4G broadband network throughout India and is connecting, listen to this number, 1.9 million schools. 1.9 million schools. Okay, we own a company that we touch about, half the U.S. K through 12 population. We have 8,000 school districts. One of our company's Power School. We get to, 75,000 schools. 1.9 million schools. Now, you enable those kids and do the distribution. Okay, 8.8% get A's, another 14% get B. Guess what's going to happen in the next generation? People who are saying, I want to change my station in life, and I know the best way to do that is to write software and to build code and to actually develop a product that has some meaningful impact on either my community or the economics of my community. It changes everything, and the economics change, dramatically across this planet. So it is an imperative that we focus on this issue.
Yeah, absolutely.